Welcome to the Activator Show. This week we have something very special for you. So this week we have our beautiful Katka, Catalina, Kat, to the show, who is an amazing friend of mine. We are sisters from other different countries, and Kat, you can introduce yourself, but I just want to say a little bit about how I feel about you, what I experience when I'm with you. And not only am I super impressed by everything that you've done, because I know your beginnings and where you've started and where you've come is incredible and just inspiring. I'm super impressed by that, but I'm also super blown away every time I'm with you, whether it's online or in person, by the depth of your feeling. And you change a room when you walk into it because you come with a feeling and you come with a love for humanity that is quite rare. You really come with a love for humanity. And of course, I love that you're also very pragmatic. And that's one of the reasons why we get on, because you're pragmatic, you're business-like, and you put it into action. So you don't just inspire, but you help people to move from inspiration to action. So I will hand it over to you to introduce yourself for the people who don't know you.
Oh, all right. Hello. I'm from Prague, the Czech Republic. So if you do not recognize the accent, this is the Czech accent. I met you, Jacqueline, in 2017. You were already on stage of a conference that I was helping with as a volunteer. And that was my first encounter with innate health, with 3 principles, whatever we call it. And you were already ahead of us all. So ever since then, I became also a coach, transformative coach. And now for a few years, I'm a mentor as well, because we have set up here an academy for transformative coaches. And I'm very passionate about mentoring. I just love helping people to be better in what they do and find their unique light, if you may, sort of their unique voice, whatever is theirs, their authentic themselves to shine better out there. So it's like an incubator, really. It's like a cultivating greenhouse where all those coaches bloom.
Nice.
And I love doing that. And I bring that part of my practice here because it's the most that I come business-like, you know, because coming to our coaching school, of course, it's quite pricey. It's high ticket, we can call it, or what else? What else?
Premium. We can call it premium or pro.
Just whomever would wonder, it's over 5,000 euros per 7-month program.
That's amazing. It's amazing. You've done a lot. And it's not to be underestimated, the value of your academy. Really, it's the first of its kind in Prague. You had like something like 40 people per year going through the academy.
It depends on the year, you know.
Yeah. But you also, I know that you do the selling. So you are the one responsible for bringing those people in and having those conversations, which is another reason why I wanted to bring you on today. Just before we get started, I also want to say that we're running an event together, a seminar together, a 2-day seminar in Prague, just before the listening summit. 21st and 22nd of May is our seminar, and then there's a listening summit 23rd, 4th and 5th, I think. And one of the reasons why we decided to do that is because we see a gap where people struggle to attract clients. And there's an old-fashioned, if you like, I'm going to say bro marketing type of getting clients or targeting clients and things like that. And we've been experimenting over all of our journey really with what does it look like to attract clients. And one of the things it doesn't look like is sitting around waiting for them to come. but it is also that you do the things and the clients come, and those two things might look different, but they are related in a way. So that's why we're doing this. And then I just really wanted to have a conversation with Kat about where she's at right now, and what are you seeing for yourself, because we're always learning, aren't we? And let's see where we go with that.
I see a market full of pressure on us professionals making the sell. And there is, I don't know how it is around your, I don't know, internet space. In my bubble, it is full of pressure, you know, to buy special course on selling and on marketing, and use AI and don't use AI, and use me, and it's so much psychology created marketing and so much psychology created selling that I am getting lost in it. Because, and like at the end, with my willpower to actually pay attention to it, and let me explain, whatever sounds amazingly new is the same scenario that has been there before, right? So I was looking at this scenario, where does it come from? And I found out that a gentleman called Robert, I don't know if I pronounce it right because his surname is Italian, Chialdini, he made a study of a human psyche and how it works, right? The psychological part of ours, how it works when you look at the commitment and consistency of the commitment, right? And these findings you can find in every product there is out there, at least in my bubble. So it's the thing that you have to let the people to know you, to make them certain that you are fit for each other. So hence the explanatory part of the marketing, who we are, and also hence the target group, you know, who is your client. Then all the money, you know, how what is the logistics of the trade, you know, how we are going to get it. Do you have enough? Is this, can I discount it? Or if you buy it now, I can discount it, or this thing. I'm just let me know. Is this familiar already?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right. And then all the decision, you know, making the decision right now or later, and with it comes the timeline. You know, the more urgent you are with the sell, the more there is in people sort of psychologically the urgency to respond to it.
Mm.
And so that's why all of these products should have a timeline, and they should have some kind of early bird and whatever, and you should really work with time, like if you decide now, I can give you a discount. If you decide in a week, you know, it will be this price. Later on, it's bigger price, whatever. All these things. And I think this is familiar already, right?
Yeah, so the whole thing about scarcity and urgency. So marketing based on there's only a certain amount and there's only a certain time left. So really almost fear-based marketing. If I don't get it now, I'm going to miss out.
Yeah. But it's also connected with commitment. This study, I'm still talking about the study and how it how it translates into the marketing, right? So if people make a small commitment, small yes in their head, their brain starts to work in a way, apparently, that they want to be consistent with their first initial decision. So they want to do more yeses, right? So that's why how it translates into the marketing that I am familiar with, get the client to pay at least £1 or something like for ebook or small membership, whatever the product may be, just really small money, because the small commitment is already in a psychological way the path towards other yeses, yeah, other commitments in their heads, because they already decided to trust you and they want to confirm their decision.
So that's why it works that people say if they've bought from you already, they're more likely to buy again. So
Yes.
even if it's a small commitment of £1 or $1 or €1, actually that means they've already committed psychologically to doing something with you. So it's easier then to take the next step.
Yes, yes, yes. That's why there is a part of marketing people who will tell you that you cannot sell high ticket program before you charge people at least some small amount of money,
Right.
because you need that commitment going in your head, and it works psychologically the way that the brain wants to confirm that you made the right decision.
Right.
It's deceiving of yourself, like, you made a mistake. Nobody wants to hear that in their heads, apparently. Which is great to know. I mean, everything that I just said is great knowledge. No mistake in that. Very valid information about how we work. And for me, what I found out in past year is that it depends when it all starts. Because this is coming into the existence. And what is the starting point of it? And that's for me complete change of the game here. If you start with the fear, and please have a look at whatever advert, whatever commercial, whatever promotion you have around yourself, they 99% start with scaring you. You are not good enough, you are not young enough, you are not ready enough, whatever shade of this not enoughness is pushing you into that scale of committing yourself and being consistent with your commitment and paying and be really hooked. What I heard today here in the Czech Republic, awful how people can get committed when they're really scared.
Mm.
When they are scared for their life, for their family, for their health. It's really, it's a manipulation. It's not a business. And that's why I think it loses the juice of it. It's not a game anymore. It's not fun. It's just coercion. It's it's
Well,
hurting people.
and it has a knock-on effect of you blaming yourself when it doesn't work. So I was talking with someone yesterday and she'd invested thousands of pounds in a coach who was the person described this coach as a narcissistic bully, and but she didn't know, the person didn't know that it should be any different. So actually she spent all her time thinking that she was not performing, she wasn't doing the right thing, what's wrong with her when it's not working out. She never blamed the coach, she blamed herself. So what I'm hearing you say is when you start from fear, you actually start from the person being in an insecure place. And so they're always going to be looking at that rather than actually looking within and seeing what is working, from a different place of perspective that we would like to work from.
Yeah. And I ran my academy for 5 years and opening the 6th year. And I can tell you in long run, people who are committed coming from the fear are not going to be committed long. And it's such a shame on your program when the people fall out. I mean, you can say, if you are that kind of person, money's in my pocket, I don't care. For me, it has always been the impact that I'm having, and the impact these people will have later on in their lives, in their professional lives, because we are all like lights of I don't know, like little sparkles or little stars, and the more we shine, the more the others can shine around us, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
nobody needs shading. We all need just to open up more, and need mirrors maybe to magnify our light instead of being in the shade. So when people fall out, shame on me for not taking the right person for my program, because then my mission, my vision is not fulfilled. And I know that my vision is good for the humankind, you know, it's not just for myself. I want really something to be done with the world. So for me, the fear is not really the correct starting point. And that's where I made, for me anyway, maybe it will inspire somebody else, a huge discovery. When you speak with a person who wants to talk to you out of the fear, you're speaking with their psychology. And then this little thing will work to some kind of limits, and you will have to invest lots of energy because something is still not right. You have to push, you have to pour whatever energy means for you. If that person comes from quiet, it's completely different. Just imagine it, right? There is quiet here, and then there is intention and the marketing strategy and fear, and it feels like there is nothing more than the fear, you know. It stands between us. It's the biggest obstacle to one most important thing for me when I make discovery calls. You cannot make a connection when there is fear in the midst of it. You know, it's impossible. It's impossible to connect. So when it is not there, then you speak with a person. Then it's heart-to-heart conversation. It's not psychology to psychology. And that's what I personally find worthwhile my time during the year. So do I want to spend majority of my year being in that awful space where I do not have any heart-to-heart with the future clients, and in ugly space within me, or not? I mean, for me, no. I want to spend my days in love, in quiet, in connection, in reflection. And I found out that these people, they last, and they last even for the programs that connect to it afterwards. They stay in the community, they stay connected, and it just creates more of the community around the product. Even though they might or might not buy anything in the future, just the buzz of the energy around the product is it's beautiful, and it's attracting more people in.
So I love what you're saying. I totally love what you're saying. And it reminds me of when I worked in prison, when I was running prison groups, because one of the reasons it wasn't just about innate health. One of the reasons the lads saw us differently is because we weren't pushing them into something. We weren't saying, you you need to change, or you need to have this thing, or I know this thing that if you learn about it, your life will be better, which is what they're used to getting. we were showing up with love and kindness and listening and some exploration of what it is like to be human, and they felt seen and respected, and they tapped into something within themselves because they weren't being pushed into something, because they were seeing that we had nothing to prove to give them. We purely were there because we wanted to come and share, and there was a different relationship. And in fact, for the programs we were running, we had a 90 people waiting list at one point, because we just couldn't run enough programs to see everybody, because they would talk to their people, which is one of the points I was going to make, is that your clients then go and they talk to other people. And I've heard, for instance, on the grapevine, that some people that I've been working with have been talking about me on another program that they've been on, and I've got the feedback there. So that love gets generated and expands. And what I see about what you're saying is, and that increases impact, not on them necessarily, but on who they impact, because they go with that light and shine that light everywhere else. And so, you know, it's almost like you're your grand client.
What I've heard right now, wow. Sorry, a bit of insight here, but it almost sounds like impact is also, you know, a thought based, like not beginning and the end. It's like love or understanding. It's like it's there all the time and we just tap into it. You know, and I always thought about the impact like from me to them. And what I've realized today, actually, because I had very powerful talk, a discovery call, you may call it, intake call, you may call it, for our academy with a lady, much older than I am, but it was so impactful, and I realized she impacted me. I didn't have to impress her. I didn't have to have impact on her. And then what you said now makes so much sense. It's like when we are open, just open to whatever there is, the impact will come. And I realized how much when I listen to be impacted by the future clients, opens me up to listen more to what they need, how we can collaborate, how we can cooperate, you know, listen for the synergy. And it really creates this beautiful feeling in me of, I would really want to work with this person. I would really love that person in my course or as a client. And not seldomly, quite often when I have this nudge, I just tell them, I would love to have you as my client. And that's also impactful. And I just think we'll, all of us, not only as professionals, right? All of us, we just want or love that feeling that we mean something in this world, that we can impact somebody just the way we are. To quote Bridget Jones' Diaries, just the way we are. And this is so heart opening. And again, it's all about connection. If I'm connected with this person and she feels my impact, how else can I amplify it? How else can I make it bigger and better and more out there? Maybe this person can help me. And meanwhile, I am as a professional, I'm thinking, wow, if I coach this person, or like this morning, if this person is part of our course, how much could it be sharing of what we see and how we are in life than being like a teacher in the class, you know?
Mm.
How would it change? And I was like, I really want this person just to be in my life, you know. I don't want to let her go. And I think that if we open up to the impact being both ways, or as I heard in what she said a few moments ago, like tap into as a space, not really a process, but a space that is there already, how much more we can be again in connection with ourselves, with them, and detached because we are present, detached from our thinking at the moment, which, pardon me, is annoyingly repetitive in every head, no matter whose head it is, you know, because we all hear, I'm not good enough, maybe not, I need the money, maybe it's not the time. What if they commit, you know? Will they commit? It's all these questions and worries and awful things that worry us. We can let them go for that moment and just focus our attention on what is coming out of that quiet but very creative space.
Mm.
And I just love being in that energy, you know. That's why I love discovery calls. I mean, when I talk to my students, I always tell them, do them, and they are like, oh, you know, who will pick up, and will they pick up, and what will they think about me, you know, that I didn't hear them for 15 years and I want to sell something to them. But who cares? If you want just to connect with people, that's enough. You know, you don't have to sell
Yeah.
anything. You just connect, and it's so different an energy. It's so different a starting point of a journey.
Yeah.
When you start from the heart, when you start from the connection. And when I connected what I said at the beginning about this study on our psychology, in current marketing, everybody makes you or persuades you that the client has to commit with money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this way, they commit with their attention, with their heart, with their time. They are vulnerable for a moment. They are open. They give you time. They listen. I mean, for most people, this is more than the £1 that you will lure out of them. I
Mm.
think that we can use that study, but still being grounded in our understanding how we work and make a commitment with how much we give each other, how much we listen to each other, maybe listen more and maybe listen more and maybe fall in love more and fall in love even more.
So I just want to unpack that a little bit. There was a lot in there.
Sorry, you wanted
Um,
to chat about it, right? I'm sorry.
yeah, no, it's great. It's great. So one thing, so there's a couple of things. So first of all, there is what I heard you saying is that it's not a it's not a person selling to a person. It's not a sage on the stage teaching. It's a collaboration. It's a meeting of minds. It's a connection. And when you start from connection rather than an agenda, actually much more comes from that because because we're tapping into this space of what you're calling impact, and what I think of that is you're activating. It's like the connection is the activating agent of soul to soul. And then when you're in that space, not only are you listening deeply to the other person, it is possible through that listening that you also tap in deeper to your understanding and to yourself and everything else. So having discovery calls based on that premise is a whole different picture. And then the second thing that I heard you saying was it was the listening part. So when if you start to think about, or if I start to think about, I'm just connecting with somebody, and then I deeply listen to them, they're going to feel served generally way more than if I come with, this is the right time to say this, and this is the right time to say that, and get their free yeses out of them, and so on. What I think is needed in addition to that is, and you still can make an offer because that is still in service. So when you're listening to, no one's saying just turn up and have a nice conversation. And I know, for instance, you've had 60 discovery calls in the last couple of weeks or whatever it is, which is incredible. Well, that would be a total waste of time if you were just showing up to have a conversation. You're showing up, as I've seen it, to have a conversation and connect with people, knowing that you have something to offer if it's suitable for them and there's a fit. And when you're talking about the fit, what I'm hearing you say is it's not just a fit for them, it's a fit for you. It's a two-way street. And I really feel like that. So when I run my Impact Activator program, I say to people that they won't find this advertised anywhere because it's an invite only. And it is absolutely true. That's not to try and make me sound, exclusive or special or anything like that. It has a knock-on effect of that. But the truth of that is I don't want to take on somebody who I can't work with. I don't want somebody in the group that I think won't fit with the group. I want there to be a divine matching. So I want that the people who are all come together, who spend all this time together, are actually going to learn from each other, including me learn from them. So that's what I heard in there. And it starts with a commitment to love and connection from yourself.
Yes. And if you have a look at what's going on in the world at the moment, how we work as people out there, the connection is really the most lacking commodity, if I may call it a commodity. That's why people are so attached to the social media, because they want to connect. They just don't know how to connect properly. So yeah, I've noticed that even the haters, the ones who write in the comments in the capital letters only, they just really want attention and connection with somebody. And now imagine that somebody gives you a devoted connection for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. It might be the most you get in a year.
Yeah.
It certainly is very uncommon for a normal call, And what you said about both ways, if people don't want to make time to talk with me, I cross them out. There is always a relevancy, so I can press a button, not relevant or relevant. If I press either of them, the system learns. It's wow. I'd acknowledge that the time connection with somebody is the priority in the day. If they don't want to do that, I know with very calm heart, very quiet mind, that they are not for me. And I don't need to think twice about them. Whereas before, I would be like, oh, maybe they will pick up. Maybe they will, reconsider. Maybe if I make better pitch or whatever. But that was not attracting a client. It was not natural. It was not authentic. It was, ooh, whatever else you can imagine.
Yeah.
After these
Yeah.
three.
You reminded me to come back to a point you made earlier, Kat, which was that the commitment of them getting on a call with you. I think we have to pause on this point because we often see it from our own time spent, or is it worthwhile, or I got nothing out of that. We often see it from that because we see that we're giving our time. But what I hadn't realized, and it's only when you said it earlier to me, that actually they're giving their time too. No matter whether they know that or they're coming to get something or whatever it is, they're giving their time. It's a gift. It's a gift. And that means that they are committing in their mind to at least, 45 minutes or whatever it is on a call with you. And actually seeing it that way round, that makes it so much more precious, that and makes me feel so much more grateful for the people that book in, instead of seeing them as a commodity. Not that I did that, but we can easily go, yeah, that's my diary, that's my diary. But actually seeing that here's a little gift in my diary of someone who wants to spend some time with me, isn't that precious?
Yeah. And when I'm going to be pragmatic again, I just love the opportunity to offer whatever I do, whatever is there on offer to them. So I'm indeed very grateful when I have, free booking. I do free sessions just for people to really get to know me and find out whether I'm their cup of tea. And they are mine, even though there I'm still learning to listen to my intuition, let's say. But I am so grateful whenever they book through my web pages, or I can book them, or whatever, even though it's for free, because I have the chance to make an offer. It's fun, and it's so natural. When I hear there is offer to be made, when I listen to how we can collaborate, how the synergy can be done, how can I be of service truly, then it's the most natural thing to offer. If a friend came to me, and as a matter of fact, before we started, I was texting with my friend. I known her like forever. We are mates from the 5th grade or something, and she was gossiping something, how girls are, and then she said, and this lady who spoke with me, her children are on medicals, and they are self-harming themselves, and poor girl. Immediately I just thought, oh, I could help them. May I offer my service? May I be of service? Because poor souls, I know it's not necessary if they understood, whatever. But I see a spot, and it's naturally coming,
Yeah.
I didn't mean it like be my customer. I just really wanted to be of help to children.
Yeah.
And it's so genuine in us that we just want to help. When we are connected, it comes
Yeah.
naturally. We don't have to figure it out. We don't have to have a scenario. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I live with a man who is a genius about marketing and selling, and he learns heaps of new stuff. And he tells me for a year, even though he quit lately, like, Kat, for these calls, you should have a scenario, you should have a script. You should always make this and that and that and that. And I bet he wants to follow this Robert Cialdini concept, right? And I honestly wanted to help the conversion of how much I do and how much people come in. So I looked at it. And then I thought, I'm doing it for 5 years and I never messed it up. Not even once. I didn't, like, I'm honest now. I never forgot to connect. And out of that, I never forgot to offer. I never forgot about pricing and the technicalities of the course. I never forgot to write them afterwards. I mean, like, all the necessary things were there. And if I look at this scenario, of certainty, money, and time pressure, it was all there, but I was not doing it. It was just coming naturally because
Yeah,
we are connected. I hear this is for you. Would you like to hear more? What's on offer? Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it starts then and there, and this is the money. This is how you get the early price offer. If not, these are the installments that you can apply for. Whatever. I mean, it's so natural and it's
yeah,
beautiful, all in one beautiful energy of connection.
yeah, yeah. I feel you. I can't tell you the amount of times when I've said to people, "Oh, take your time." Like if they're not ready, yeah, that's fine. Take your time. You'll know when you're ready. There's no pressure here. Because genuinely, I know that when they're ready, they'll come back. And I don't have to worry about that. But also, I hear you saying that there are some fundamentals, and other people may not have naturally come to that like you have, but there are some fundamentals about connection and listening and making an offer when there's a fit and following up, which is a big one that people forget, and not taking it all seriously as well, and or personally. So there are some fundamentals, but there is also where you're starting from. And we're sort of started with this and we're going to end with this because I want to leave a little bit of space for questions. But where you're starting from, if you're starting from connection, love, knowing, you just don't know where those conversations will go. I know that to fill my cohort in April, to fill our classes, I have to speak to people and make offers. But I also know that everyone I speak to isn't right for this or that. I'm just speaking to them with an open heart and an open mind and a connection. And I've had three conversations this week, and two of them were very much of, I knew straight away, okay, this is not that. Okay, what is this? And then you're curious and listening. And one person made all sorts of referrals saying, have you spoke to this person and blah, blah, blah. And the other person, I just kept listening. I thought, this is not that. This is just a nice, really beautiful conversation with like-minded person. And at the end of our conversation, she revealed that she works with a coach already, and she has had in the last week 4 different coaches offering free coaching. And her dilemma was, oh, if I take all this coaching, will I be confused? And my invitation, don't go off working with all these people, even if it's free. But my knowing of the industry was, wow, that's 4 people saying, basically trying to get her as a client, because we know if she works with them for free, there's a commitment, etc., etc. And how we're being of disservice when we do that. Unless there's a genuine, I'll offer to these family, for instance. If we're just thinking, oh, I'll just get them in for free because we don't know if they're going to buy, what a disservice. 4 different coaches in the last week offered their services for free. I mean, that's not connecting, is it? That's not listening.
No,
That's
because if you
something
do,
else.
yeah, if you do the the connecting, you do not need to book a special session
Mm.
because you're already here, and then you may switch with a simple sentence, may I be of help right now. That's what happened to me
Yeah.
literally on Monday. This lady, she said last week, I'm sorry, I know I booked this call, but I'm in the middle of packing my flat. I'm moving. Can we talk Monday? So I called her on Monday, and she was very stressed. She said, I am so sorry. I just feel really unprofessional, but I have to cancel again because I still didn't finish the moving and I feel really stressed. And I just thought, may I be of service? So I told her,
Mm.
may I be of service? She's like, I really don't know. I said, well, that's what I do. So if you have among these boxes, and I could hear her still taping something, you know, this and she's like, you know, and she started to talk about home abuse and children and trials, and all of a sudden she stopped taping stuff and just poured her heart out. And I was listening and I was coaching a bit and pointing her towards calm and stuff, and we had an hour of conversation. It was not a discovery call.
Yeah.
It was pure connection and spontaneous coaching because I was
Yeah.
in it. And she was so grateful. So instead of making her offer and sending her some kind of information like my blogs and videos and references and whatever I send to people, you know, I send her an exercise to calm her nerves down in 1 minute and a meditation that I've done. And in 2 hours, she said, I listened to both of it several times already. I feel so calm. This call was so great. It just helped me immensely.
Yeah.
And I mean, do I want to talk with a stressed person? It's the same as a fear, you know?
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
there is no point. We have this idiom in Czech Republic that in Czech language where you say you throw peace at the wall, the green
Yeah.
peas.
Yeah.
It just rockets off. It falls back down on you, you know. There is like,
We say throw spaghetti. So you
ah,
throw spaghetti at the wall and you see what sticks.
all right. Now the idiom, the idiom word is really lovely. I love that.
It's been amazing talking with you, Kat, of course, of course. And I would say that my biggest takeaway from our conversation is that you can trust when you're being of service, you can trust that whatever's needed in that moment will come forward. It may be an offer, it may be just let me help you right now. It may be this is not a good fit for either of us. It may be, oh, you help me see something. Whatever it is, or I'll send you a resource. It could be a plethora of things, but you can trust when you're present and you connect and you're of service that whatever it is will come forward, and you don't have to fill your head with that. And that if it's an offer, you should just make the offer. That's it. There's nothing else on that. That's the same as saying, I'll send you a book or I'll connect you with another person or whatever it is. It's the same thing. And so, you know, I'm encouraging people, my invitation to people who are listening is to just do that. Just practice doing that. And you'll soon see that the people who need the offer will hear the offer.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Have you enjoyed our conversation?
Immensely. I just love being in your presence. It's even, you know, we are an island and continent away,
Yeah.
or Czech Republic is in the heart of the Europe for those coming from the countries where you don't take the geography so seriously. So it's pretty far away and I can still feel it. So I love it. Thank you. And and thank you for the space to share the spark that I caught a few days ago while doing this discovery course, because it feels so much worthy of sharing. So thank you for letting me share.
Oh, my pleasure. So we will be in Prague together on the 21st and 22nd of May. And also, if you're watching this on the replay and you have questions, if you're already in the Impact Activator community, you can ask questions, and Kat is in there now. So we're both happy to answer questions. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, then do connect with us. We'd love to hear from you, and we genuinely would love to help you wherever you're at right now.
And for me to end with is, if you love people, the connection is never a problem. And if it sometimes feels to you that it is a problem to love people, then you know this community around Jacqueline is the right space to dissolve this. It's the right space to talk about it, because it's always thought-based. And maybe it is the thing that stands in the way of connecting you to yourself. This is what I found out when I was working with you, Jacqueline. So
Oh.
it's to be genuinely you, to be authentically you. There is nothing better for the business and for serving the people out there. So
100%.
I would love to help with this during our May seminar, to anybody who would come